Hola, how's it going? I'm here at the barbershop. It's time to go take care of this fro. It seems like it's been growing since high school. It's not that bad, but oh my goodness, yeah. I like having really short hair because like then I could just wake up and go. I don't have to spend time like putting my head under cold water and like smoothing it out so it doesn't look that bad. So while I do this, I'm gonna start off the intro. I'll be right back in a little bit with News Gone Wild, a look at some of the craziness that's going on in the world. I know there are a lot of serious things going on. My heart goes out to everybody, that suffered from those fires in California, and of course, all the victims of the horrific plane crash the other night. But aside from that, there's still some really interesting, crazy things happening in the world that maybe can bring a smile to your face. So I want to go take care of this nasty hair, and I'll be right back with some of the crazy news in the world. Check it out. Hello, everybody. I'm Chuck, or as the ladies know me as, Hey, you in the bushes. I used to work in a funeral home, but I had to leave it because business was always dead. I went to a library the other day and I asked the librarian if she had any books on paranoia, and she said, Psst, they're right behind you. Now, I'm not saying I'm bad at math, but I can't even count how many times I've been wrong. And why don't eggs tell jokes? They'd crack each other up. I've noticed that I don't really see that many couples going to my gym. I guess it's just that some relationships just don't work out. I once got into a fight with a broken pencil, but it was pointless. If you're American before you go into the bathroom and you're American when you leave the bathroom, what are you inside the bathroom? European. And finally, I used to be a baker, but in the end, I couldn't make enough dough. So that's it, everybody. Welcome to News Gone Wild. I got a few news stories I want to share with you, and hopefully they can crack you up because, like I said, as the great Bill Hicks once said, life is too absurd to take it seriously. So let's take a look at the news.
That's all it is. No idea, dude. I just know an Asian guy hated his ass and beef with them, man. I don't know, dude. Yeah, Doc. I'm fucked. He's gonna get frostbite.
So, according to Colin Rugg and TMZ here, a Canadian man got his beep beep stuck to the frozen ground while being detained following a bar fight. During his struggle with security, his pants fell down, fully exposing his privates, and thus, with the cold temperatures, he got himself stuck to the ground. And this incident happened in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. This might end up being a really good thing because think of all the money that police forces will be able to save if they no longer have to invest in handcuffs or anything to tie down people's hands. They can just throw them down to the frozen ground and just leave them there. They'll be stuck there and they can take care of business while everything calms down. That's pretty good. And the Italian soccer team Lazio fired its falconer for posting penis photos after enhancement surgery. The guy was used to walking around with his bird exposed, so I guess he didn't think there was an issue with that. A doctor recently explained why many shoppers suddenly get the urge to go poop whenever they go into hardware stores. It turns out it's the plumbing section that really gets things moving. And some elephants that are located in the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in Colorado Springs are being denied the ability to be released from the zoo because, according to the court, they are not people. The judge says they're just going to have to tusk it out and maybe file for an appeal. But then once the Elephants took a look at that Denver Broncos roster, they figured out what's the use? Well, we're okay in captivity. No problem.
Oh, the Denver Broncos!
The fraud suspect, at the age of 61, used wigs and disguises to take citizen tests for others, the Home Office says. Well, at least he didn't have to study for the test. He just had to keep changing his look. But I guess he had to end up running out of money based on all the makeup he had to use, right? And a woman named Nicole Polino discovered that she was registered as deceased, saying the development really, really messed up her life. She was surprised. I don't think she was surprised as much about being dead as the fact that once they declared that she was dead, nobody called to see if she was okay or check in on her or anything like that. And she said nobody even showed up to her fake funeral. Wow, that stinks. And an Idaho man reportedly covers his head in shaving cream and catches table tennis balls. He said now he can finally pursue his lifelong ambition of becoming the Denorex man.
Sell some blue, no tingle.
And an athlete recently broke a world record with 44 pull-ups in 1 minute. That's impressive because I haven't worn 44 pull-up diapers since I was in my 20s. Turns out, according to the New York Post, over 50% of Americans suffer from peaceanxiety. What is peaceanxiety, you ask? Peaceanxiety is when you feel so anxious that you're stuck in a situation that keeps you from using the bathroom. Imagine holding it in for so long because of how anxious you are. That would drive me nuts. It'd drive me nuts. But they said if you really got to go and you can't, just go into your local hardware store and everything should be fine. And a blooming plant that reeks of gym socks and rotting garbage has thousands lining up for a whiff. Many women say that it helps them feel nostalgic for the scent that many of their boyfriends had when they were teenagers. They said it reminds them of Drakkar Noir. And finally tonight, Mittens the cat is mistakenly left on a plane and becomes a frequent flyer. Turns out the story is so fascinating, Steven Spielberg is going to make a movie about this with Tom Hanks, and the movie is going to be called Pet Me If You Can. I hope you like that. And so, my fellow Chuckadelphians, that's just about all for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Which of these weird and wacky stories was your favorite? Do you know of anything else that's crazy and it's in the news? Let's take a break from all the craziness that's happening in the world. I know there's a lot that's worrying everybody, but hey, it's good to take a break from that and just remember that life can still be good. Life can still be beautiful. Let's just put out some positive vibes and hope that everything turns out for the better. Okay? So you take it easy. Carpe diem, my friends, and I'll see you on the flip side. Ciao, ciao.
Open your eyes. Why don't you see? There's a world out there waiting to see you. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Abre tus ojos, porque no ves que hay un mundo ahí esperando por ti. Abre tus ojos, abre tus ojos, abre tus ojos.